Smoothie Mom. Today is sauce day. But what we want to do too, we're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about vegetables and we're going to talk about sauces. The reason we're going to talk about vegetables is this. Personally, I am not a big vegetable fan. So I need to find ways that I can do that. And what I have done is I have put together something on my computer. So it'll be in the description of this video so you can find it. This will help if you're a person who's not into vegetables, or if you have kids, you're just having a hard time getting some vegetables in them. Here are some things that you can do. My absolute favorite, and I didn't take on any lettuce, but if you have lettuce, kale, spinach, any of those kind of things, lettuce, greeny things, here's a little trick. You get your blender, and if you put the lettuce in with a little something sweet, like apple juice, or like berries of some kind, and then add like a banana or a little bit of sugar, just a tablespoon or just a teaspoon or two is plenty. You mix that up and then you drink that, you only taste the berries. And the sweetness comes out more than the vegetables. Now, what you can't do this. You can't load the whole thing. Like, let me show you my cup. Like, I couldn't fill this up with lettuce and then put a little bit of apple juice in and think it was going to be okay. Because no, you definitely taste the lettuce, because I did that once or twice. So you want to add like a small handful of the lettuce, and you put your berries in or your apples. Then when you blend it, it tastes good. So there's that. There's a way to get some lettuce in you, and then that's good. Now I make a whole smoothie, and I add yogurt, and I add some like a nutritional thing, a protein powder that I like, and that PB peanut butter, which you've seen. It's just dehydrated peanut butter. They took the fat out, and then they left all of the peanut flavor. If you add a little bit of water to it and take a bite, you go, oh man, this tastes a whole lot like peanut butter. It's because it's peanuts. So I put all that, and I put all that into my smoothies, and that's a meal for me when I make it up. And when I make a container like the size I showed you, that I give some to my husband and some for me, and that's a meal for both of us. So that's one way to do it. Another way, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, is you chop them up and you put them in with meat. So there's two things that help vegetables to kind of tone down that strong, bitter, vegetable-y taste that sometimes comes through. One is sweet things, like we talked about before. The other one is salty things. So I had a friend once who made a very delicious cabbage dish. Now, normally I don't like cabbage, but she put this together and she soaked it on the stove in some chicken broth, and she put some salt and pepper in there for flavor, and she added some bacon. Oh yeah, bacon makes everything taste better. And so you can do that. So, like one idea, you take your onion, you take your pepper, and you take, maybe you could do some broccoli, maybe you could do some celery, and you chop them all up, put them in a pan, cut up some bacon, just mix it up. There's a side dish for you. And you don't have to add these sauces we're going to talk about in a minute. Just bacon, a little salt, pepper, the vegetables. It is good stuff. I like vegetables like that. Brussels sprouts, I'm sure you've heard about this. You cut the Brussels sprouts in half. Only get the fresh ones. Do not get the frozen ones. Please do not feed your family frozen vegetables and cook till they're mush. They taste terrible that way. But fresh Brussels sprouts, you cut them in half and you sprinkle them. You put a little sea salt on them. You put a little bacon. You sprinkle the bacon on there, and then you put a little bit of maple syrup. Just drizzle it ever so much. Then you roast them. You put them in about 350. Let them sit in the oven for a good, 10, 15 minutes. Whew. Yeah. Now you got yourself some good Brussels sprouts. So there's a way. So there's tons of ideas. Now, soups are good because you can put the meat in there with the vegetables like we talked about with the salt before. So that's another really great way. And I have a couple more ideas. Like I said, I'll put it in the description. One of the things that you can do to help them to like taste a little better is you can create some sauces. And I have a couple of different sauces here that I'm going to show you that you can make. Very easy to make. Now you can buy barbecue sauce, sure. But if you want, you can make it yourself and then you can season it really well. So this is the recipe for the barbecue sauce. And again, it'll be in the description. This will be listed in the description. But for barbecue sauce, you can add some garlic, and it's already got, see, the soy sauce, so it's really salty, so you don't have to worry about adding salt. But you can add, you know, your pepper. You can add some garlic. You can add some basil. And these can be fresh. If you'd rather do fresh, if you like to cook a lot, I like to kind of make things simple, so I buy the dried seasonings, and you can add those. Dried seasonings you put in at the beginning so the moisture can get in, and that's how they get the flavor. Fresh seasonings you throw in at the end and cook for just a minute, and then that's how they get flavor. So if you want to get some fresh basil, don't put it in at the beginning. Wait till it's almost done, cut it up, throw it in, just let it get good and warm. Make sure you break the leaves. It comes in leaves just like anything else. You just tear them up so that, because all the flavors inside those lovely leaves. So there's that. And then we're going to talk about seasonings a little more in a minute. But those are ones that would taste delicious on your barbecue sauce. The other one that's really easy is a ranch sauce. And it's basically 2 ingredients. Sour cream, ranch dressing. Now, our family, we always just use Hidden Valley because that's our favorite. But you can use any kind of ranch dressing. You can get ranch dressing from the dollar store. Perfect. And then for that, the ones that are good, garlic powder, onion powder is good. You can add some basil. Did I show you that? There. You'd add some basil. Something interesting you can try. Add a little bit of soy sauce. And when I say a little bit, for this one, just a couple of drops is all you need. You do not need a lot. The ranch dressing has some salt in it, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can add some pepper. There's your pepper. You could add if you wanted. And just for fun, something interesting, chili powder. Try some chili powder in that dressing. It'd be really, really good. That's one you can mix this up, the ranch dressing, and then, you don't like veggies? No sweat. Dip them in the ranch dressing. The one that's really good for celery, I'm sure you know, is peanut butter. You could use peanut butter and put them right on there. Here's the other one. There's 2 different kinds of things for celery. They're called ants on a log. And one is you cut them up. And if you don't know, the stems of celery can be used in things like soups and stuff. You don't really want to eat them. So you'll rinse them. You'll rinse the stalk off. See, you're chopping all this off, and look what you have left. You have a little boat. Ooh, what should we do with our boat? So we'll put some peanut butter in there, and then you get some raisins, if you like raisins, and you just line them up on there. The other one that works for this, which I didn't have until I worked with some kids many years ago, is cream cheese. You run some cream cheese in the middle, and then you put raisins down the middle, or those dried cranberries. Oh, so good. So there's an idea for you of how to get some celery in you. And celery is an interesting one in case you did not know. If you just eat celery as is, You will lose weight because you use up more calories eating the celery than the celery has. So there's that. I do not advise you to just sit around and eat a bunch of celery, though, especially if you don't like veggies. You won't enjoy that process. That's something you can do with the ranch dressing. With the barbecue sauce, you can put it on things. You can put it in some of those soups or like a chili. If you choose to make chili and you chop up some vegetables, you can put anything. You can put like spinach and stuff in there too. Now, there are certain kinds of things with some vegetables. Say you wanted to make a spinach dish. Nutmeg kind of takes the bitter out. So you just add a couple of sprinkles into your spinach. And then, of course, if you add cream or cheese, and that's in the thing in the description, like any kind of cheese that you add, that helps to kind of take that bitter taste out. And oh, it makes it so good. So spinach is really good with cheese. You can make, I'm sure you've heard of broccoli cheese soup. So you'd want to cut your broccoli up really small. And that's another trick with vegetables, is if you cut them up very, very small, then the flavor isn't overwhelming. And you can put them in things, and then you're eating, and then because they're all small, the flavors combine, and then they taste better. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to show you a couple of different kinds of spices that really go well together, which you may or may not know about. We all know about salt and pepper, and usually you add salt and pepper to everything that you make to give it extra flavor, unless it's like cookies or something that's intended to be sweet, then you probably don't want to add a whole lot of pepper. Some people don't like chocolate with chilies in it, stuff like that. Not my favorite, but some people really do. But some things that go together. Ginger is, I'm going to talk about it first, because ginger can go well with cinnamon things. Cinnamon. Yeah. Or nutmeg. I showed you the nutmeg before. Can go well with ginger. Cinnamon and ginger and nutmeg. Cloves. That's kind of like a pumpkin spice when you do that. You add a little allspice or ground allspice. And that goes well with ginger. But here's something else interesting. Ginger can go well with turmeric. And they are really good. And ginger's got some nutritional benefits, and turmeric helps with joints and things. So it's a good one to add to stuff if you're a little bit older like me, or you've got, stuff like that. It goes also well with garlic. A lot of Asian dishes pair these two together, and it just brings out a whole lot of flavor. That with the soy sauce, yum, yum, yum. So there's some ideas for you for the ginger. Now, if you don't want that like spicy ginger flavor, and you do like the idea of like a pumpkin spice kind of flavor, that's where you've got your cloves and your allspice and your cinnamon and your nutmeg. Cloves tend to be a powerful, I'm going to find them so I can show you. Cloves tend to be very powerful, so you want to add a little less of that. Nutmeg is also strong, so a little less of that, and you can add just a little more of cinnamon, and then it combines the flavors very well that way. All right, then the other ones is more like an Italian type flavor seasoning, and for that, you want sage, you want thyme. You can get, I got ground thyme, but you can get flaked thyme, and some oregano. Oregano, like the other ones, oregano's a powerful spice, so you want to go easy on it. And basil. And those go well together, along with some garlic, which also goes well with a lot of things. And those are kind of Italian flavors. The other ones that are good if you want more of a Southwestern or like Mexican kind of flavors is chili powder and garlic And you can always add like red pepper to that, and that just brings out a little bit of heat if you like some heat. And so those are things that go well together. So I hope this has been really helpful. Hey, if it has, let me know. Subscribe and leave a comment and let me know. On the video I gave to the kids, if this is, I'm talking to parents here, then you can put in the comments if you want to comment on what I'm talking about, or you know other things that might be good ideas, or you like some of these. Tell me about that. If you use some of these sauces, if you already make these sauces and you use them in different ways than in different ways than I mentioned, then I'd love to hear about it. But also, if your kids watch the other video, because I told them in the video that if they have special books they want to read, then you go ahead and put that in the comments too, even if you can put it in this. Because in the kids' videos, you can't comment, but you can here. So I don't mind if you put comments in here about books that you want to read, or look back, there's one or two videos about books that I put in earlier, and you can put comments in there, because I love to hear what your kids like to read too. So thank you so much. And if this is helpful at all, like it, and any suggestions you have, if there's a way I can present it that maybe make things a little more clear, let me know about that. Put that in the comments as well. And all of that is helpful to me. So I appreciate you guys, and I sure enjoy getting on and talking to you a little bit.